For our first experiment, we're looking at the type of electrode. So I wanted to show you what my setup is here. So I've got a plastic beaker, and inside I've got 4% sodium chloride solution. We'll be keeping the solution the same for all of our different trials for a type of electrode. I also have a multimeter set up here, and we are just looking at voltage. So we want to see which combination produces the largest voltage. The black wire is for my negative electrode, and the red wire is for my positive. So soon we'll go to a zoomed in version where you can see up close what's happening, but really I will just be setting it up. We'll be taking a reading, and then I will switch the electrodes, we'll take a new reading, etc. We'll be doing 6 different combinations. Let's get started. Okay, so to set up, we'll be starting first with zinc and zinc. So I'll hook up one of the zinc electrodes to my positive end, and I'll hook up the other zinc electrode to the negative end. And I want to make sure that the alligator clips are not touching the liquid and that the electrodes are at least 2 inches apart. So I can see from my reading on the multimeter that the voltage is 0, so I will record that in my data table. All right, let's move on and test aluminum and aluminum. All right, so again, I've got aluminum and aluminum here. You can see the voltage reading. Record that in your data table. And then I'll be testing copper and copper. All right, so I've got both copper and copper for my electrodes, and you can see the voltage reading, and you can record that in your data table. All right, so now let's test combinations that are not the same on both ends. So let's put zinc on our positive end and aluminum on our negative end. Okay, seeing my value there, 0. And now let's test copper on the positive end and zinc on the negative end. All right, I'm seeing a small reading there. And then let's test copper on the positive end and aluminum on the negative end. Also seeing a reading there. All right, that concludes experiment number 1.